Hindsight is 2020, right? Or I guess the bugs hit the windshield hard enough that you can't see out the windshield, but you can look in the rear view mirror and see. So today, we're going to talk about if you could go back in time and talk to yourself, what advice would you give yourself about a few different topics I got here. And so I would like to call up, well, first of all, visitors. Are you willing to play? You got to be on the spot. The subject is in here.
How long do they need to speak for?
20 minutes. 1 to 2 minutes. When you hit 1 minute, the green light will go on. When you hit 2 minutes,
1:30.
or 1:30, the yellow light will go on. When you hit 2 minutes, the red light will go on. You have 30 seconds to wrap it up.
Okay, we'll play. Who's new with me?
You'll play as well? Okay, well, first off, we'll have someone show you how it's done.
Oh, okay.
And I'm going to call on Roscoe.
Okay, Roscoe, show me.
Oh boy. What to be or what not to be is the question. With my added ability to entertain and educate, I would have probably suggested that I followed a communication track or a principle so that I could learn some of those scientific methods behind personal behavior and interrelationship communications. Because I was fascinated with it, but I didn't think you could actually make a living at it. So I pushed that aside and said, no, go be in something that will always be there, which is freight. People always need to move something, right? And that's what I try to do every day getting ready for college. I'm trying to get myself really excited. You're going to go learn about trucking. It's awesome. And you know what it is? It's really neat. It's a neat process. It's neat that I've learned about the supply chain. I really enjoyed it. But I think when I was a kid, I would have suggested a little bit more dedicated study towards what I wanted to be. Because when I was a real little guy, 3, 4, 5, I really wanted to be a gunslinger. And I thought that would be the coolest job because you get to ride into town, you get to shoot it up, and then you get to leave, right? So I've got probably, my childhood dream has come true. I'm a consultant. I get to go in, make a mess of everything, and then get on my horse right out of town, the hero, before anybody knows really what's happening. So I'd probably give myself a little bit more advice on how to communicate those skills and work on that. But hindsight is 2020, so I think I'll start driving backwards. Bart.
Yeah, I wanted to be an FBI agent, graduated in accounting, and built roller coasters, so it makes perfect sense. Okay, the one that was so anxious. What was your name again?
Digging my own grave. Michelle Porcelli.
Michelle, come on up. You can't see what they are.
Where to live. Okay, this rings true to home to me. Just got back from girls' camp a few weeks ago up at Mutual Dell. It is beautiful up there. And there's a little scare of bears up there. And so I'm teaching these girls about if they come across a bear. If you have a bear encounter, this is what the experts say to do. In Utah, we have what is called black bears. They reach about 250 pounds and about the size of a large human male. If you come across a black bear, you're to make yourself as huge as possible to try and scare them off. Now, if you come across a grizzly bear, and hoping that none of you do, they're mostly in the Northwest, a grizzly bear can reach up to 750 pounds, up to 2,100 pounds. Known as also the polar bears that can reach that weight as well. So this is what the experts tell you to do. If you reach a grizzly bear, do not try and make yourself as big as possible. He's probably going to laugh at you because he looks at you as a chew toy, right? You are to come into the fetal position and lay on the ground and freeze, part of a stress response, fight, flight, or freeze, right? And you protect your vitals. You put your hands behind your neck and lay still. Now, reading Wikipedia, guess what they say? If the grizzly bear comes up to you and starts playing with you and starts licking you, you better take off and run because he's preparing you for dinner. No wonder we are confused. The experts say to hold still unless he starts to lick your wounds. okay, then it's time to run. I think in life, when it comes to where to live, sometimes we're confused too, because we've heard things, oh, the black bear, it's easy. He's just gonna be scared of you. You look him in the eye and he runs the other way. I've come from Alpine. Alpine, Utah to me, I used to live in Lehigh, lived there for 15 years. Best place to raise a family. Alpine to me was my grizzly bear. Lehigh was my black bear. I knew how to handle it. It wasn't too big for me. It wasn't too big for my family. Alpine's a smaller place to live, but the reputation it has of the haughty-toddy people who would leave their noses on the ceiling, if you know what I mean. So we went in blindfolded and scared. Get there, and we meet some of the most amazing people I've known. But I still didn't fit in. I still was my hick from Lehigh, right? And I remember about a year after living there going, we are ready to move. We're done. And I had a friend say to me, Michelle, give it time. Some of the best people I have known, my best friends, live here in Alpine. I took her advice, and I'm happy to say we've lived there for 6.5 years. I've conquered my grizzly bear.
Lehigh to Alpine is a big jump. Okay, what was your name again? Sorry.
Steve.
Steve, come on up. What are you going to talk to yourself about?
Money. Hindsight is 2020. What would I tell myself about money? You need enough of it, but you don't need great jobs, and you need to find a career that will make you happy, but not take you away from your family and what you enjoy spending time on more than necessary. Not sure how adroit that was. And I'll just put it to bed at that. Thank you.
Linda. You know, the good ones are still in here.
Dating. If I could go back and tell myself about dating, here's what I'd tell myself about dating. Dating is not the person that you're going to marry. Because you've heard it said, you date, the people you date are the people that you marry. Well, it's not true. Not 100% true. Let me explain. So, when I was younger and dating, I would have this in the back of my mind. You date the people you marry. Well, it kept me from going on a lot of dates because sometimes young men who have not come to maturity yet can act a little crazy. And I believe that is why we tend to marry, or at least I did, date guys that I didn't grow up with. Because I had seen their background and knew what they were like. However, what I found when I got married to the man that I dated was that he was one of those immature little rascals playing jokes and pranks on everybody, and he's got more stories than any of the guys that I dated growing up. So he's got double the stories to tell of all the shenanigans he pulled. So my advice to myself would be, date those guys even though they seem immature, because they one day will grow up to be very mature, handsome young devils.
That's right. You don't date, or you don't marry those you date because it's so. I mean, I spent a lot of money on other people's wives. Patrick.
That's a good one.
And some of these may overlap a little bit, but it's from a different perspective.
It's the worst. Okay, college. I
tell myself to, just so you know, I came to Utah to go to BYU, and then I got distracted, and I went off and I took a job in Boston for a year, and then I went back to BYU. Now I got distracted and took a job traveling the eastern part of the United States, and I went back to BYU, and I'm just like, screw it. And I left BYU. And I think that that was an awesome decision. So I would tell myself not to worry about it so much, because I stressed out a lot. And I think you need to kind of trust yourself and kind of trust the Lord and what He's telling you should do, instead of maybe second guessing all the decisions you're making. And one path for you, the path for you might not be the path that everyone else is taking. It might not even be the path that everyone else is suggesting that you take. But, everyone's not you, and they don't know what you need. And there's a lot of ways to be happy in life. So that's what I tell myself. That's it. Faith, thanks for playing Hindsight is 2020.